Talk Radio with Michael, Neil, Phil, and the gang.
Welcome to Song Talk Radio, the show with songwriters talking to other songwriters about the craft of songwriting. We share tips and tools and techniques, and together we all become better at writing songs. I'm your host, Mike Proudfoot, and with me are the members of the Song Talk Radio Action Team, my co-hosts Phil Emery and Neil Modi. Hello, fellas.
Hello. Very excited to be here.
Excellent.
Because if I wasn't here, I'd be somewhere else.
Show, but
and you
this
wouldn't
is the
be
best
excited.
place to be.
It's true.
Considerably less excited, I would imagine. During the show, please feel free to tell us how excited you are. Send us your comments and questions to @SongTalkRadio on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or on feedback @songtalk.ca, which is like an email thing. And we will share them with the audience. And, please visit us at songtalk.ca to find out how you can be part of the show. Speaking of sharing with the audience, Phil, we have some viewer emails and letters, don't we?
Yes, we do. We get letters. We get sacks of letters. And this one is about our holiday gift guide from Jeff P. from Michigan. Good information on the last podcast. Part of the conversation was about keeping notes on song ideas when you get the inspiration. I listened to a songwriters podcast out of Nashville, and they have a show on that. Many of the writers there carry a notebook that they call their hook book. Mine is a small notebook about 4x5. The ideas are then moved to a bigger book when the writing process starts. Interesting. These are my suggestions for Christmas gifts for writers, a book that could be used as a hook book, and as a small quality handheld recorder, such as TASCAM for recording rough drafts or even final drafts of songs. I use a TASCAM DR-40 and really like it. Zoom makes some recorders also. I'll be sending my entry for your current songwriting challenge soon. Thank you for taking the time to help and inspire us out there. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks for writing, Jeff.
Good, Jeff. Yeah.
Good
do we have more, or shall we?
We do.
Find. Well, all right. Let's give us one more, and then Neil, you can tell us about this songwriting challenge that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yes,
this one is from Bill Black Music. Hi, Phil, Neil, and all the Song Talk gang. Hope everyone is well and staying healthy. Last year, Neil was so kind to promote my musician's office mic stand accessory system. As you may know, my product idea is now being manufactured by Dodero, and which also won Best in Show at the 2020 NAMM show in California. I just received this video from Dodero, and if not too late, we could please add it to the holiday gift guide for small gifts, and we will. So it's in between $15 and $100. And that's awesome, Bill. That's a great stuff.
We did mention that, even without Bill's help, we did mention that when we were in our gift guide show, I believe.
Yeah, but we'll certainly link to that video.
Yes, and we've got some entries into our songwriters challenge already, I guess.
We do.
Excellent. Neil, what is this songwriters challenge that we are talking
Songwriting
about?
challenge for our 2021 second annual songwriting challenge this year. We're going to tackle the idea of writing a song where the chord progression never changes. And this was based on a theme, special theme episode we did a while back, where, you guessed it, songs where the chord progression never changes. We showcased a bunch of songs on that podcast. We actually have a playlist of them on Spotify and stuff. And so we're asking our listeners to participate, and we're so happy that a few of you have already sent in your songs where the chord progression never changes, which is amazing. And so for the three of us, we're each going to write a song for the challenge, and we're going to share our answers to this challenge on the January 26th, 2021 episode. And then some of the replies from our listeners will be shared on the February 16th episode. And I don't know, guys, we're getting quite a few entries, and it sounds like we're going to get some more. So we may have to do a couple of episodes.
I think so.
We can get through everybody.
A super long show or something.
Because we also did a show a while back on our listeners' songs, and it was amazing to hear what our listeners are up to. And you guys are really talented, so we definitely want to hear from each of you how you want to handle that challenge. And definitely check out the theme show where we talk about a bunch of popular songs where the chord progression never changes. There's more of them out there than you think. So, yeah.
Great
Thank
stuff.
You, Neil. All right, and now the main attraction. Tonight, we have a special guest, Harpin Norm Lucien. Norm walked into a jam in a pub in downtown Toronto, joined in on harmonica, and quickly found himself in the embrace of the Toronto music community. Gradually playing with just about every style, backing up just about every musician, that's when he picked up the moniker Harpin Norm. As a poet, Norm crafts his own song lyrics. He also picked up the guitar to accompany himself while he sang and played harmonica. Pre-pandemic, remember those days? He played the stage as a singer-songwriter in Nashville, including at the Bluebird Cafe, the Commodore, and the Blues and Boogie Bar, and also at clubs and festivals around Ontario. And his Christmas song, Praise the Christmas Birth, was on regular seasonal rotation on 2 Nashville radio stations. So that's pretty cool. He used to write love songs, but since penning a protest song, Norm's subject matter has expanded greatly. And that is something we're dying to find out more about. Welcome, Norm. Thank you for doing the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. Hey, Mike and Neil, Phil.
Yeah.
Nice to have you back.
Oh,
Great to have you
thank
back.
Yeah, it's been a while,
It has been.
which is good. Gave me time to write some songs.
Are you pretty prolific with your songwriting? Are you a I write a song every day kind of songwriter?
I don't push myself to write a song every day, but I would say I'm pretty darn prolific.
Or at least work on a song every day is what I meant.
Yeah, I certainly work on something every day. That's for sure. I don't necessarily sit down to I don't necessarily sit down to write that sort of thing. It comes to me and I just write it down. Parts and portions. Keep a notebook.
You used to play live so much. Do you find the fact that you're not playing live now is affecting how much you're working on songs because you don't have that sort of deadline? Or
No, I haven't. That's a really good question, and I don't find that that's really slowed me down. I still write, and if I'm not writing a song, I'm writing more. I guess what you'd say more poetical works, some kind of writing. So a lot of what I write often, it either goes towards becomes more of a poem or it becomes more of a song. It kind of depends on how it develops as I work on it. But I'm writing all the time, so even in these days, I mean, I just find, stuck at home with COVID. I'm not with COVID, but because of COVID, I just find that actually gives me a lot of time to sort of think and work.
I'm actually really curious about that, Norm. Like how, you say you write some poems and some songs. Do you start out saying, I'm going to write a poem, I'm going to write a song, or do you just start writing, and then how do you decide whether it becomes a poem or a song?
That's a good one, and comes down to what's the difference even sometimes, and sometimes I think what it is I sometimes get a feeling that it's going to be a song because maybe I can hear the tune, or maybe I'm actually sitting with my guitar or harmonica and stuff, and I'm playing, and then the tune is coming out, and then the words start coming out. So then, if it's happening in simultaneously that way, then I have a pretty good idea that this is going to be a song because I've got the music going, or I can hear it. Sometimes if I don't have an instrument with me, obviously I'll just sing it a cappella, usually into my phone, because there's a recording thing on there. So and I usually get a sense that it's more or less going to be a poem or more or less going to be a song. And then having said that, I've often written poems which later become songs. So sometimes even at that, if I'm sitting around and I'm not really feeling all that inspired to write, and a song, I mean, and I don't have anything, I'll often be going through my old poems and have an instrument nearby and see something, and I'll just go, I think I'll try that. like I'll try that, and then things, and then sometimes they become songs.
Right.
And do your pieces usually always start with the words first, or is that your process?
No, quite often in the past, quite often they started with harmonica playing. I'd be just humming and playing harmonica, singing, that sort of thing, stamping my feet a lot, and then I'd just start kind of rapping something out, singing something out, humming something out that would become words. So on my first CD, there's actually a number of tunes that they're instrumentals. There's no, one's just harmonica, another, I played sort of with the idea of words for it, but it just didn't go that direction. Another one where I added guitar to it, but others, when I did Strong Enough for Love, that was very much a song that was harmonica based, and then as I played along, the words just started coming to me. Actually, that line basically, "We Are Strong Enough for Love," came out, and I just kept working at that. I think I had something like 32. Or I may have that backwards. It might have been 23, but whatever, various different paragraphs for that song.
Oh, wow.
At one time, because I was going through, stuff, and whittled that down, and whittled it down. And I mean, you'd have to have a song, just whittling it down, throwing out stuff that kind of repeated or kind of went off in different directions. And I remember actually being in the recording studio with that, and one of my early days in a recording studio actually was just with a friend in his studio, and we recorded it. It was so long, and we just realized, man. He said to me, "Norm, you got to cut this song. You got to cut it down." He says, "I can do it right now for you. I'll just cut some stuff out. Or you can just cut some stuff out. Or we can record this and send it out and have whoever out there, take your chances on what they're going to cut out. So you better do it right now." So
you find that's often the case, Norm, that when, especially if you write a, like you say, you go back to a book of poems that you've written some time ago, are they often too long to be a song, if you know what I mean?
No, I don't. I don't feel that I usually write very long poems. Yes, here and there I do. Yeah, sure. But quite often my poems are, they have rhymes going through them. They have rhythm and beat and
rhythm and meter. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so I'm not surprised. But often I'm a kind of guy, even with my songs, but certainly with poetry, I'm not really very wedded to structure. Mm-hmm. The structure develops over time. I may even start with a structure, and as I'm working at it, my general feeling is, I don't care when I'm writing these things. I don't care about structure. I care about getting the ideas down.
Right.
And then I go back and I go, okay, what's the structure? What's the structure here? Like, it can be all over the place sometimes. And then sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I remember, one song, "The World's Strongest Man" was one of my songs where it was really, really obvious. It seemed so simple, clear and simple, the writing of the song, but when other people would play with me, they would jump in to play with me, they would suddenly realize that it's actually quite complex. It just sounds simple, but I'm not following the structure that you start out with. It kind of, half a verse disappears and it goes into the next verse or goes into the chorus, and you're going, what? But it doesn't sound like that I don't think it sounds that way on the song. It just flows.
Or it doesn't necessarily scream out at the listener, "Hey, I'm breaking structure here." It's kind
and
of,
it doesn't do that.
It's more subtle than that, right?
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
A great tip about capturing your inspiration when it comes. That's such an important thing to do, as opposed to trying to put structure on it. Just get your ideas down, and then tweak it and edit and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one thing in there that happens is sometimes I end up with way more than one song, or 2 songs or 3 songs out of it, because you suddenly you put all these ideas down, and they may be all kind of around the same thing, but they don't. But all those ideas don't necessarily fit that one song, but they can fit another song. Which, if I was keeping to a structure and really going, oh, Norm, just constantly slapping my wrist or something like this, then I might lose 2 other songs.
Yeah. That's a great idea, actually. Well, for one thing, it seems like words are never a challenge for you.
Not usually. Yeah, I've been told to be quiet a lot. Yeah, no, but that's true. But it's not that it's always been that way. I think these days it's often. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and writing, and no matter how many notes I take and how many I write down and how many songs I finish, there's so much that I throw out, and and a lot of it, I throw it out, or I put it aside. I put it into a box, and I might circle something that I want to come back to later. So I'll go back to that morgue, I guess they call it, and so if I'm kind of stuck, I'll go there and just go, looking through, and then suddenly there's something that I circled, something I underlined, something that stands out, something I ignored before or didn't work for another song, and suddenly I get re-inspired, and so the idea of what is writer's block, I don't really find myself having that.
Right.
Nice.
It's always a good
When
thing.
you're talking about inspiration, I'm just wondering, the song we're going to play of yours tonight, COBOCONK, what was the inspiration for that?
COBOCONK, the initial inspiration was the word COBOCONK. I just thought that is the coolest word, and I'm going there. I'm going up to COBOCONK, Ontario, which is just north of Balsam Lake, top of Balsam Lake. It's actually the COBOCONK River. COBOCONK is a little village on that. A lot of fishing people. So I went up there with to a fishing lodge with I don't know if you know Pete Otis, right? Who passed away a while ago. Pete Otis and Brian Gladstone and Glenn Hornblast and Paul Cross. They were the main bunch that went. We all got together and rented a lodge for the weekend. And we figured we'll do a writers' weekend, songwriters' weekend.
Nice.
And it was great. We went up and we had instruments everywhere, and we were just playing everywhere, and there was constantly music. I don't recall a radio ever going on. Or music coming on, being, that anybody ever put music on. We just play it all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Even late at night, around the campfire. And I think the only time I really had peace and quiet was when I'd hop in the canoe and take off up the river and come back again.
Were you the only one out of the group that actually wrote a song about just being there?
Well, everybody wrote. I'm sure everybody wrote stuff, and everybody was really working on stuff. But I think really I was the one that really only. I think I was the only. I'm the only one that I know of. No one else has come forward yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I wrote one on there because I really got off on the word COBOCONK, and I thought. I love that word. I got to find out more what it means and what it's about, and I got to write it into a song somehow, and I don't know what the song's going to be. But then as the weekend was progressing, I think we were all having such a wonderful time, and just all hanging out and and passing ideas around, so a lot of the songs started. I probably most of it happened right there, because by the time I remember taking off with Pete and we went down the street to someone he knew who often put on living room performances. So we were there talking, and it came up that hey, we even have a COBOCONK song. So,
Great.
so
We should take a listen, I think.
Let's take a listen.
Yeah, great. You should.
All right, so here we go.
Hanging by the river up in COBOCONK, good old friends, friendly talk. What else could anybody ever want? Well, in the time away, come on along, sing out your song, come on along. COBOCONK, come on along, sing out your song, come on along. There must be magic in them there hills. There must be something in the water there. There must be light deep in the dark of the starlit nights of COBOCONK. Come on along, sing out your song, come on along. COBOCONK, come on along, sing out your song, come on along. Sing it out loud, sing it in the shower. Don't worry about the words, you just hum it till you got her. Sing it to the river, sing it to the air, sing it from your heart, everywhere. Come on along, sing out your song, come on along. COBOCONK, come on along, sing out your song, come on along. COBOCONK, come on along, sing out your song, come on along. COBOCONK, come on along, sing out your song, come on along.
Very nice. It sounds a lot like the scenario you described that you were in when you wrote it.
Yeah, that's true. That's often what I think too.
Yeah. Phil, what'd you think?
Yeah, nice little tune. It made me think of some of the things that Blair Packham has advised. You know, you started off being very, very specific about your place, which helps kind of root the whole song. You know, you didn't start off with a poetic metaphor like, you know, mountains, but you were very specific. And that's always a really handy thing. I liked how it's interesting, you're not really tied to super tight rhyme schemes. So you didn't have like ABA or anything like that. It was very kind of loose, which I like that. And the repeated chorus at the end worked out really well. So, and it was really cool. I was listening to that because there's a line at the end of your chorus which I kept on expecting there to be something, and there's not. Which at first sort of threw me off, but then I sort of kind of started liking it. It's so, because it was sort of unexpected. So, which I thought was cool.
Neil.
Yeah, I mean, I quite liked it, and it's I agree pretty much with everything Phil's saying. It's interesting that it's a 1/4/5 song, right? The harmony is not complex by any stretch. However, in more subtle ways, you do kind of the chord changes happen in half the time roughly in the chorus, right? So the chorus keeps it moving along a little bit more. And as well with the rhyme scheme, like you're not really rhymey in the verses hardly at all, but then in the chorus, come along, sing out your song, come along, COBOCONK. Like it rhymes more in the chorus. So it's interesting how, I mean, we're talking about our songwriting challenge coming up with, chord progressions that don't change. So this is a chord progression that almost doesn't change, but how do you set apart the chorus? The chorus is much more simple. Lyrically, it rhymes more, and as well you got the rhythmic change with the chord changes happening faster. So it appears to be this super duper simple song, but when you get into it, it's those little details that really make it kind of shine, right?
Oh, nice, thank you.
Very nice.
And how about you, Michael?
Yeah, well, I thought the chorus was interesting. I mean, I liked the song. I felt that it captured what it was about really nicely. That choruses often lift off, and the chorus kind of got a little, not quieter, but it's the pitch of the voice was a bit lower, and it got a bit more comfy in a way. So that was a neat change. I like that. And the repetition at the end and the harmonica is just really nice.
What was the process?
It's still clearly a chorus, though, isn't it, Mike? Or do you find that?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought it was. What was the recording process like?
Recording process. Well, I'm recording with Steve Sherman. Steve Sherman production. Actually, I should mention Steve. He's him and the Smokewagon Blues Band are up for 3. They've had 3 nominations from the blues. Cool. So, so I've got a good guy working with me. But the recording process is it's very simple. Basically, I put down my guitar work. I put down the vocals. And I put down and then I usually put down the harmonicas, usually in pretty well that order. And then I might put another guitar, or I might put some harmonies in. And on the first album I had Nicole Coward, Lisa Quigg, worked with me, and she's now off and living outside Ottawa, so it's a little harder to get together. But so I'm largely just doing the harmonies. Actually, this song doesn't even have harmonies on it. It sounds harmonic. I know, and I change my voice a little bit here and there to bring that in. But there's actually no actual second voices on here. It's just me, like I'm sitting beside the fire. So that's what I do, and then Steve and I sit down, and then we kind of talk about what we've got here, and is there anything else? And then I might say something, or he might say something that, like let's try a little. I mean, we've gotten so much. We're working together so well these days. He'll often not even say anything, and all of a sudden he'll go and get his bass and say, "Okay, let's," and he'll just start putting bass on it.
Nice.
And then it's, how did that sound? Oh, I didn't like it. No.
That ever happened?
I'm joking, Steve. I'm joking.
Do you always incorporate harmonica into every arrangement, or do you sometimes leave it out?
I sometimes leave it out.
Okay.
Very seldom.
Well, it's your thing. I mean, you can't,
Yeah,
I mean, in this song, it was quite understated. Like, it was there. It wasn't like, but it was there, but it wasn't the highlight.
Well, thank you for that, because I'm not actually interested in, like, I don't really want it to overpower the song.
Yes, of course.
Sure, and yeah, I mean, I like the harmonica. It's like if I'm playing with other people, I don't want to overpower them. I want to color what they're doing. I want to enhance what they're doing. It's not about me, and it's not about the harmonica. It's about that person who's up there leading the song. And so that's what I try to do. And so even in my own songs. Now, one thing, so here's part of the process. In my songs, I can't play the way I do behind other people with it in my hands and that sort of thing. So I can just play with it on the rack, and then I have to sing, and then I have to play the harmonica, although my guitar can go the whole time. So when I write my songs, if I wanted to put all the stuff that I want to put in harmonica, quite often the song would be just like ridiculously long. So I write the song, I sing the song, sing the words, and then I play behind myself on another track as if I was playing with somebody else. So I'll just hold it in my hands, or maybe on the rack, it depends. But and then I'll play as if I'm playing with that. So that's why sometimes I can actually play over myself. Well, I shouldn't say over myself. I should say with myself, sort of thing. Because so that's basically how it goes.
Wow.
So it sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear music.
Yes.
I think
Band
that
has
means
arrived.
that that's all the time we have for tonight on Song Talk Radio. Thank you so much, Norm, for being part of the show.
Thank you.
today.
Thanks, Norm. Good to
Bill,
have you on.
And
thank you so much.
for you out there, sorry, what?
Thanks so much for having me. It was wonderful.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. For those of you out there, please send us your impressions of our show on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Song Talk Radio, or send us an email to feedback@songtalkradio, and be sure to check out our YouTube channel where you can see our shows with us in little boxes, and sometimes live performances as well, and other full episodes from previous shows. And stop by our site at songtalk.ca and subscribe to our show for the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher.com, Spotify, or Podcast Addict, or wherever you pick up your podcasts. And you can also get a free newsletter. And please join us at our next Song Talk meetup, which we're doing virtually as well. We do one every month. It's free to join at meetup.com and free to attend the meetup. You bring your song by and play it, and people will give you some feedback, and you give feedback on other people's songs. It works out great. And I believe that's it. If you want even more of us, you can find Neil. Where are you?
neilmodi.com.
Nice. Phil, where are you?
I'm at philemery.ca.
Very nice. And Norm, what's the best way to get more of you?
Probably the best way. Well, you can go to my website, which is harpinnorm.com, or you can go to Bandcamp, and I'm on Bandcamp.
Yay, Bandcamp.
All right. harpinnorm.com. Perfect. And here, stop by our website at songtalk.ca to browse our past shows and find out how you can possibly be a guest on our show. So do that. Keep writing. Take care. Stay safe, and have a wonderful night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Goodbye. Good morning. Whatever it is.
Farewell. Au revoir.
Arrivederci.
Hors d'oeuvre.
It's important to have a bilingual show.
For a non-lingual.
Semi-lingual.
Pretend lingual.
Sounds rude.
Don't knock on the linguals.
And how was your birthday, Neil?
It was pretty quiet, but it was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The
Safe and socially distancing.
for the most part, my brother's family swung by on Sunday, and we met them in the park and just sort of hung out for a little while. And
That's nice.
that was about it.
Celebrations are a little on the mellow side now.
Otherwise, it was pretty quiet. My brother's is tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
He's turning 50.
Ooh.
Wow. If I make it through another year, I'll turn 60.
Oh boy. What do you mean if you make it through another year? What kind of talk is that?
Well, I don't want to be too presumptuous.
That's right. You
guess.
never know these days.
You never know. I don't know. You're safer if you're staying home all the time. What are you going to do? You're not going to get hit by a bus. You're not going to.
No, that's true.
All the things that typically kill us.
I could snap. Well, I do spend my weekends at my girlfriend's, so that involves a bit of car travel and then a bit of transit on the way home. And there's always crazy people, and I'm not even really anti-crazy person. It's mostly, I think, because of COVID, so many people are homeless now.
I'm anti-crazy person. Why wouldn't you be anti-crazy person?
I don't know. Some of my best friends are crazy people.
Oh, the crazy people.
So I live about half a block away from an assisted living facility. And so there are some genuine crazy people, some of whom I've gotten to know, and I kind of look out for them. There's this one guy, Neil, said something to me. He was saying, I can't remember how the conversation started, but he apologized to me, but I had nothing to do with it, for not taking the clothes that were given to him for, like, they were charity, offering clothes, and he had a reason why he didn't want to wear these clothes. I forget what it was, but he just poured out his heart to me. I mean, it was not a coherent conversation, but it was really interesting where he was coming from.
Wow.
So,
I guess sometimes.
but it's tough now because most people don't carry cash. So if people are begging for money on the street, it's really tough.
Yeah.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I took a withdrawal out of the bank.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was thinking that just because one is homeless or down on their luck, it doesn't necessarily mean they may still have pride, still have priorities about and wishes about what they're if they have a choice, why not take the
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. I started to tell you that because I thought I would remember what he said, but he had a really interesting take on why he couldn't wear other clothes. That was it. No, but to your point, on a corner near me, there's a Pizza Nova, and a friend of mine and we dropped in to get a slice, and there was this guy asking for money, and he's just to get enough for a slice, and I say, okay, well, I'll give you the money, and then my friend kind of goes, well, hey, keep your money, I'll buy you the slice.
Exactly.
And then the young guy who's working behind the counter says, hey, I've got a whole pizza for you. Someone ordered it and didn't pick it up. And the guy's like, no, really, no. And no, take it. No. And basically he's like, I don't want a whole fucking pizza. Like, I got to carry a pizza around with me now. And so, he gets the pizza kind of reluctantly. And then when we go outside, he's picking the pepperoni off and putting it in the garbage because he's a vegetarian. He didn't want this pepperoni pizza. He wanted to order the pizza slice that he wanted, the vegetarian one. But the guy was getting so competitive with being charitable that he's like pushing this pepperoni pizza on the guy. So, just you can be homeless and still want to have the pizza slice you want.
Well, that is true.
I mean, there's still people, right? It's not like
exactly. Well, I was in Vancouver, and the guy asked me for money for coffee, and so I give it to him, and then I notice he goes in and he gets an espresso, and I think to myself, hey man, that's not good value for money. Like if you're down in luck, you want to get a big regular coffee, don't you? But hey, that's his choice. He just wanted a shot of espresso to start his day.
When I was talking about crazy
Who am I to
people,
judge?
When I was talking about crazy people, I meant like barbecue guy in Etobicoke there. That kind of crazy people.
Oh yeah, that's just stupid.
Okay,
I hope he gets charged.
Anti-stupid people.